Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. This video is about Apple TV Plus and how you can use Apple TV Plus on your Roku and get 3 free months of the service and basically have enough time to take in most of the noteworthy things on the service. We have a wonderful regular commenter that's been asking for Apple TV Plus videos, so I thought, let's give it a shot. So the first thing you need to do when you do this is add the Apple TV Plus app, as well as set up an Apple ID. If you don't have one already, you just have to go to the, the Apple homepage, or, if you've got Android, you need to download the Apple Music app. But you need to create an app and, attach a credit card to it and things like that. Once you do that and you have a working Apple ID app, a working Apple ID, you can jump in here and you can tell it to sign in to start your free trial. If you don't, it's going to say you don't have an Apple ID or something like that. We went ahead and did it using the same email address that we have hooked up to our Roku, so that way it made it like a one-step process. So all we have to do is say sign in with the remote, and then we're going to be able to jump right in with the Roku app. Otherwise it gives you instructions as to what to do. And when you do that, it's going to send a code to an applicable place depending on how you set up your Apple ID. If you're having any trouble with your Apple ID and getting this code to work, what you're going to have to do is contact Apple, because I am afraid I am not going to be able to walk you through whatever steps that might need to be done for your specific situation. Luckily, Apple does have departments, departments for people with Apple devices, departments with people who are using Android. So if you run into any problems, and we did, you're just going to want to jump in and talk with them. So, once you're all set, you can take a look and you'll see that there's a basic menu up top. But what we want to do in this video is make sure you understand what it is that you're supposed to use, what it is that you can get through the Apple TV Plus free preview, and the things that are not part of the free preview. And the easiest way to do that is to zero in on the Apple TV Plus tab. If you start from the Apple TV Plus tab, everything you run across here is something that you can watch for free with the 3 free month subscription. And of course, if you decide to pay $6.99 a month, you can continue to watch it. You can see this by when we select something, it says, play the first episode and not purchase. Hey, look, it's the credit card lady. But as you go along, you can get a feel for the kinds of things that are out there. Their top chart movies are just going to be based on what it is that people have been watching lately. No big surprise, people are getting into the Peanuts stuff. The movies and TV shows that Apple makes are all available through Apple TV Plus. And they break it down into these couple of genres and categories here so that you can zoom in a little bit on specific things. You might not have realized that some of these things were originally Apple TV Plus projects. Of course, not all of them are. The Charlie Brown Halloween special predates Apple by decades and decades. It breaks things down into categories like any video app with, you see kids and family, documentaries, dramas, comedies. Now what I wish, though, is that there was a way to look at like a full screen of just dramas or just comedies. What they make you do, unfortunately, is this carousel left to right selection process, so you don't have a chance to jump completely into just one category. Maybe they'll correct that in a future series. Now, the binging entire seasons is fun because that means that that everything that's going to be done on this has been done. That's different than, of course, an entire series. In some cases, some of the shows they have either been canceled or, like in the case of Ted Lasso, they've been actually wrapped up. But at least you know you won't watch 2 episodes and go, oh, I'm going to have to wait till next week or next month. There's a lot of interesting stuff on Apple TV as far as what they call prestige television. A lot of people feel like it's actually some of the best original content out there. Major League Baseball is something else that is actually available through Apple TV as part of the subscription. It's kind of irrelevant right now because we're in the World Series, but they do have a Friday night baseball contract where there's usually a game or two on Fridays that allow you to watch baseball, live and, right at home. There's also a way to sign up to watch MLS soccer. This is something where if you have Apple TV Plus, you can then get a subscription. It doesn't come free with your Apple TV the way the baseball does. Apple's trying to get into more sports, and this is sort of their first big foray into exclusive stuff. The only place you can get the MLS package is through Apple TV Plus. Kind of like ESPN Plus has the NHL package. As far as their exclusive access, they have gone in and put a lot of depth into the way that they cover the MLS. While it's not as popular as something like the Premier League, MLS has been growing in popularity for a long time since it got founded at least 20 years ago, I think now. But you'll see that things break down, where they can focus on individual players and, their impacts on the sport. The store section of this app is a completely different animal. And as implied with store, that means you buy things here. This is not free content from Apple TV Plus. This is, recent movies that are available digitally. This is TV shows, whole seasons of TV shows, however you want to approach it. This is the kind of thing that Apple has been doing for years and years. You see that they do break things down into different groups. They have, they show you prices, bundles, things like that. But the thing is that you need to pay attention to where you are in this app, because I don't want to see people saying, well, I got Apple TV Plus and then it tried to charge me for everything. That's only going to be if you're in the Apple TV Plus tab, not the store. If you do end up buying something, it's going to be in that little library tab. But there's a decent amount to watch on Apple TV. It's kind of funny that they give you the 3 free months, because that's probably more than enough time to see pretty much everything you would want to see. They've got a decent selection of original movies. They've got a decent selection of TV shows, especially if you like sci-fi. Apple TV Plus seems to have a ton of dystopian sci-fi and things like that. Otherwise, it's just another place to get content, like buying things from Amazon or Vudu or something like that. It's kind of a mishmash. Luck was an Apple TV exclusive. There's a lot by Tom Hanks in here. That I don't know how they wrangled him, but there's some really cool stuff with Tom Hanks, like Finch and Greyhound. But that's it. That's Apple TV Plus. That's a feel for what it offers. Just remember, if you sign up for it, you got your 3 months, and if you don't cancel it, it will continue and start charging you $6.99 per month. If you like your content, obviously you're going to keep it. Maybe you really like having the Friday night baseball game and don't want to have a whole big cable package just to watch baseball. Maybe you don't care for the rest of the sports scene, But in general, it's an okay package. I don't think it's the most engrossing. But the thing is, with the preview, you can really take in the couple of shows that maybe your friends like, what, you're not watching fill in the blank? You really need to see this. with this offer, you can jump in, you can enjoy it, and figure out what you want to do going forward. Maybe you pick it up again at the end of another season. If you get hooked on something like Silo, they're going to have if they have a third season, you can wait for them to do their 9 or 10 episodes, sign up for Apple TV Plus, watch a couple of movies. That's actually the way to save money with streaming that a lot of people don't do. Starting subscriptions and ending them. But that's it. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to our channel so you can see what we've got coming out further along. And if you have any other suggestions as to things that you would really like to see us do here, let us know, because we want to be able to do things that help the people the most. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.